1988, Jack Quinn worked as Vice President of Federal Protection Services, a company that owned armored cars and offered financial protection and transportation. On Saturday, April 9th, he arrived at his office in Palm Beach and spent several hours at his desk. At some point, he spent about an hour washing both his personal and company car in front of the building, then returned to his office. That afternoon, Jack asked the only other person in the building, Harry Goldberg, if he would follow Jack home, then give him a ride back to the office. Harry agreed, and the two men took their trip. At around 5 p.m., Harry watched Jack get into his company car and drive away. At 7 p.m., Pauline Quinn, Jack's wife, began making phone calls looking for her husband. Jack did not return home that night. The following day, Sunday, Pauline found $107,000 cash in the trunk of Jack's car, with a note that she summarizes, he'd done something wrong and he did not want to suffer the consequences. She contacted police and they opened an investigation right away. They interviewed Harry, who helped Jack take his car home, but he claims he hadn't seen Jack near the company safe at all that Saturday and didn't see Jack putting anything into his trunk. Federal Protection Services safe was equipped with a time lock that wasn't set to open until Monday morning. It was then they discovered they'd been robbed of more than $1.3 million, and the only suspect was Jack Quinn. The search intensified. The FBI found Jack's company car at Palm Beach International with a parking stub stamped for 5:36 p.m. on Saturday, meaning he went straight from the office to the airport, carrying at least $1.2 million. And that is where the trail of Jack Quinn goes cold. Jack did not purchase a plane ticket, nor did he rent a car, nor was he seen leaving the airport. The FBI had no idea where to look for him, but they did uncover a few clues that could have motivated him to disappear. Jack and Pauline lived a nice life, with expenses that seemed a bit too much for his $37,000 yearly salary. Police also discovered Jack was suspected of stealing money from a company where he was previously employed. The IRS was pursuing Jack for a large sum of money, and they had contacted Federal Protection Services only weeks before the robbery. Jack was also having a long-term affair with a woman who said she too was surprised by his disappearance. No one who knew Jack thought he'd be capable of a crime of this nature, yet he executed one of the largest robberies in Palm Beach County history, and has managed to evade capture for 30 years. Despite heavily publicizing this story, only a few solid tips have led investigators to places Jack has been. Jack has not contacted his family since 1989, and later that year he was issued a license in Houston, Texas, with the name Dale Calvin Clucky, but the FBI has no clue as to the whereabouts of Jack Quinn, and the investigation remains open. What do you think happened after Jack got to the airport? Was he able to get on a plane without the FBI finding out? Did he have someone waiting for him? And if he did, why go to the airport? The deeper I dig into this story, the more questions I find. I think this one will just remain unsolved.